Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mark here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today it's time to do another ArtsyTrio collaboration with my friends Gina Ahrens in the US and Bea Grob over in Switzerland. So this month it's Bea's term to do the mood board, so let me turn over to my overhead camera and show you what the mood board is and what it contains for May. Okay, so this is the mood board for May. Magnificent May, as Bea has called it. So as you can see in there, we've got some reds, we've got some blues, and we've got a few hints of kind of gold colours and also a little touch of green in that chair there, and also some greens and lime greens over here in this, is it a mug or a jug of some kind? I have no idea what this is. It's got a little lip there, so obviously it's for drinking and resting your thumb on. Anyway, so that is the colour palette for the mood board. Now, as you can see, I've pulled out from my paint collection some paints from Deco Art. So these are the Deco Art Americana paints. So I've got 2 blues, 2 reds and 2 greens, but I don't really think I'm going to be using too much of those. Probably I'll use those for contrast. So when I was looking at these colours, although there's kind of like florals in there, we've also got damasks and we've got fabrics in there too. I'm not really sure what this chair is. It's a bit odd. And that's what kind of got me thinking about oddness. So we've got these kind of striking blues and reds and kind of oddness, which got me thinking about kind of abstract painters of the early 20th century, particularly the futurists, cubists and those kind of people. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a kind of futurist, cubist kind of abstract painting, but also bring in some elements of collage as well. So what I've done is I've gone through my paper collection. Let me just move those paints out of the way. So I've gone through my not very extensive paper collection and pulled out some papers that I've got blues. Just move those out of the way because they're kind of like text papers, which I also want to feed in there somewhere. So I've got some blues, I've got some hydrangeas, you see, May. I've got some kind of florally things in there, but I've also got this kind of red accent colour as well. So blues and reds, but I'd also throw in a little bit of text. I've got a dictionary page, just happens to have the word art on there, or it did do, unless that's the other side. Yeah, there, it's got the word art on it, so that's fine. And then a couple of other kind of nondescript kind of texty papers also. So I've got those to draw on if I feel the need. So the first thing that I wanted to do for my page, let me just prop that up out of the way so it's not hanging about unnecessarily. There we go, I've just tucked it underneath my shelf. So what I want to do just to start off with is just to kind of segment and break up my page into some lines. So what I've done is I can't find my my compass, and I don't mean my compass that points to north, I mean my compass that I use to draw circles with. Can't find it anywhere. So your guess is as good as mine. So what instead I've done is I've grabbed a few bits and pieces from off my desk, and also I grabbed a plate from downstairs that I'm going to draw some kind of circles, but I've got a blue pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do complete circles, I'm just going to do light kind of semicircles. Now I don't know whether or not the camera is picking that up because it may be a little bit too bright, but that's the whole point. Using a blue pencil you can kind of lose the line, but you can still see it, but it's very, very faint. So that'll do for the larger ones. I've also got one of my clock faces, my new MDF clock faces, which is a smaller circle, so I'm going to put that one there, and we'll go in a kind of succession of smallness. And I've also got the lid That's a bit smaller there as well, so we'll have that just about there. And then I've got a very, very smaller one, just from the lid of some crackle paste. So I can put that back on the crackle paste lid now. Just to stop it from drying out. So I've now got this kind of like succession of circles. So what I need now is a straight edge. Of course, I completely forgot to bring over a ruler. Bear with. There we go. Just had to run over to the west wing. Okay, so we've got those circles kind of coming across there. So what I want to do is kind of draw a line that's going to break up those kind of circles. I'm going to do another one, almost so it looks as though it's like a beam coming from the centre. But just to kind of break that up, I also want to do another one coming across the page from this side. And then just move that a little bit and bring that down there like so. So I've now got a kind of broken set, and I might even just to throw a curveball in there, just do another one which is slightly offset to this side. There we go. So I've got two coming across here, two coming across there, and that's kind of going to be my template to work on. So I'm not going to bother gessoing the page, don't really think it needs it because I'm just going to be adding paint directly to. So that's exactly what I'm going to start to do. Now I need some smaller kind of paintbrushes for this because I'm going to be not going to be covering huge areas all at once. So I'll just grab a paintbrush. I've got some water just off to the side here, just there. Move those out of the way. Some headache tablets, he says. Okay, so just dry the brush off. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a base of the light, kind of light green as my kind of ground. So I'm going to pop some of that down there, and then I'm just going to nip straight in, and I'm going to start kind of just doing some basic kind of fill-ins with that green colour. And I'm not trying to get total kind of like precise lines with this. So again, we'll come up here, just follow the line of where the plate has been, and then again over this side we'll come all the way down here. So the exercise for this primarily is just literally just adding in bits of colour. Now we've got some other areas within here, so I can just add a little bit of that kind of green in there, maybe a little bit of that green in there. And then I need a little bit more, I think, probably just to kind of balance it out over here towards this right hand side. And then I can just kind of like fade that away. Okay, so it's just going to be a question now of filling in and adding in other colours. I do have some more detailed brushes that I can start to use to add in a little bit more colour. So let's just add in a little bit of that blue. A lovely kind of like cyan blue. So we'll do that one over here. And this is why I wasn't particularly bothered about getting precise lines. And then I think we'll have this triangle over here. And then maybe this one over here. And I can, if I want to, just grab a really detailed brush, just a small brush, and then if I want, I can just come in adding those lines. But I'm not going to get hung up over keeping within the lines. Okay, so where else can we go? So we've kind of got another semi down here, semicircle kind of shape. Like I said, I'm not going to go right up because that's what that detail brush is for. Grab that. So we can just start to kind of add in these kind of colours and just start building up a bit of a pattern. There we go. I think one more blue colour right in the middle, or the light blue anyway. Like I said, if I go over the line a little bit, I'm not too worried at this stage. I mean, it's not as though I'm trying to create anything which is like museum quality. I'm not creating an heirloom piece of artwork that I expect to be handed down to future generations and then sold at Christie's for millions 20 years after or 100 years after I'm dead. So I can afford to be a little bit messy. Okay, I think for that's fine. I'll just wash off the smaller brush. I'm not wiping away any of the paint off my worktop. Okay, my desktop. Okay, so let's grab some red. It's funny how they all squeeze out and then you end up with like little plugs at the top. Let's put you there. Yeah, this red seems to go everywhere. Okay, so I think let's start with the red up here. Okay, and then I think we'll have some red here. I'll just predominantly fill with the large brush and I'll come back in with the smaller one. But even this smaller brush I don't think is detailed enough. But that's okay. Right, so let's have I'm just being a little bit mindful of where the other kind of shapes are. And then I'll just fill in, like I said, using the larger brush just to fill in the larger areas, and then I can come back and just tidy up with the smaller brush. And then I think we'll have this kind of large semicircle here, but it stops about there. A little bit too much pressure on the brush then. Look, I've had a little bit of a splash. There we go. Lovely. And then I think do another small red down here. Okay, so I think what I'll do, because this is going to take a little bit of time, is I'll go into fast forward and then I'll join with you again when I've got the majority of the spaces kind of filled in with the different colours. So I'm going to move on to the darker blue and then the darker red, and then I might just add some touches of that dark green. So let me just see if I can just clean that brush off, pick up some of that green there, just to see whether I can. I see that was still wet, but that's fine. I can make a mess there, let it dry, and then I can come back and just go over it again when it's dried a bit. Okay, so I'll go off, pop some music on, and I'll join with you again once I've kind of populated each of these shapes. Okay, so I'm just jumping back in again now. I've pretty much got most of it done. I just want to introduce a couple of other shades of green now, but I've got this olive green here, which I'm going to pop just down onto the mat. But I've also got some white gesso, which I'm just going to leave there for the second. So I'm just quickly kind of clean off one of my brushes. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to get a visit from Mr. Ian in a moment, because I've just heard the kettle boiling. Here's hoping. Anyway, right, so olive green. Yes, that's it. It's just another lovely kind of shade of green to add to the page. Now I'm going a bit rougher over here. Right, I'm going to grab a little bit of white gesso now. I'm going to just start kind of blending the two together. Don't mind if I'm just contaminating just a little bit into the gesso. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do something similar down here. So just take that darker green. Just see if I can gently fold that around and then grab the white. Then come back in with that dark green again. A bit more of the white. And just kind of blend. So before it starts to dry, there we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that for what it is. And I know I've got two spaces there and there that haven't got any colour, and there's also a space there, but we're not going to paint those. So, alright, what I need to do is I need to get all this dried off, all this cleared up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's pretty much dried off. So what I wanted to do with this particular triangular shape here was I'm going to fill it in with some of that dictionary page. So what I did is I've just quickly drawn the shape out, and that's the word art, if you like. So I'm now going to glue that down into that space there. And then just because I can, I'm also going to infill those two pieces there with small pieces of the paper. So what I just need to do is just to kind of sketch round where that circle is, and then I can just grab the edges so it's just about there. And then that's going to create, hopefully, if my angles are pretty spot on, he says, we should, excuse you, could hear that belch halfway up the stairs.
Not that covered it up.
Okay, so we've got that piece in there. Do you want to drop that? There we go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Love you. Right, so look at that. Perfect. Right then, so let's just grab another piece of that. Now I'm going to try and keep the same kind of orientation for the writing. So that line follows there, or near enough, and then that circle comes round to about here, I think, and then that one comes in about there. So again, let's just whiz that off. So straight line. Hello, Mr. Bentley. Got another visitor. I'm blessed today. So there, and then if we can just do a little bit of a curve around that one, with any luck, there. I'd say pretty much spot on there. Okay, so I'm just going to take 10 minutes, have a bit of a coffee break, but for you it'll just be mere moments. Oh. Okay, so now that everything's dry, I've glued those pieces of paper down onto the page. And now what I need to do, and I've already started here, is I have a charcoal pencil. It's just a medium strength charcoal pencil. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to now start going around the edges. Just to define those lines a little bit, and just to kind of blend and kind of dirty them up a little bit. Just to kind of make them pop a little bit, also just to knock back those colours just a little. And I think to some degree it also just kind of helps to age them a little bit. Just gives them a little bit more, I won't say presence, just softens those edges. Which is why I wasn't particularly bothered about going over the edge too much. Just like that. Okay, so I'll go off, carry on diffusing these, and then I will join with you again in a little while. There we go. I think it's just added a little bit of kind of depth and dimension to the page. So there we go. Definite mixed media. So we've got paint, charcoal and paper elements in there. So all I need to do now is just assign it and date it. What date is it today? It's the 25th because I'm doing this on the Monday. 22. So what I normally do is I will flip over the page and I can glue the mood board onto the back. So that's the mood board and that's my project. Yeah, definitely can tell that it was inspired. So let's just grab some glue. I've got some indigo blue grab and go. Just add that on the back. So while I'm gluing this, don't forget, if you'd like to join us over on our ArtsyTrio Facebook group, you can have a go at playing with this mood board too. So I'll put a link in the, a clickable link in the description area below so you can pop across and join the group. But also there'll be clickable links underneath for Gina's project using this month's mood board and also for Bea's project too. So be sure to check those guys out as well. So there we go. So that's what's going to remind me later what my inspiration was for this project. So there we have it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create my art journal page for the ArtsyTrio May Challenge. Magnificent May. There we go. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking that button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.